friend, I just feel like it's way too much coddling going on regarding this little gray-eyed, bald-head, you know what. I feel like Marquez is just as bad as Martell, but all I hear in the comments is people mad at Carlos King and everybody else. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about what Marquez had to say, because he done blasted Carlos King, child, on Instagram, and it's all over the blogs. We also going to talk about the interview he did with Queen Sheba yesterday. So make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. I'll be back on the screen probably this weekend. Y'all know I got my eyebrows done and stuff, so I look a flaky, funky mess. Anyway, so hold me down, friend. So let's talk about what Marquez said on Instagram. This is what he said. He said, Carlos King, thank you for never checking on me or calling to hear my side. The lies, disrespect, and disregard for me and my family is nasty work. If you really care about unifying black families and showcasing black excellence, maybe you should reconsider how you operate before it becomes your downfall. P.S. Call me if you really care about my mental health. Bye-bye. First and foremost, what made you think that Carlos King really cared about unifying black families and showcasing black excellence? You didn't watch the show. So Marquez, I'm sorry. Even though you're right in his sentiment, he's definitely right and he's putting Carlos King on blast. But I'm not trying to hear that now, because you were a part of the circus when you was getting paid and selling Don't Crash Out t-shirts, which I'm burning mine. I'm sorry. This is the first time I've had a total 180 when it comes to somebody. Because y'all know I was saying, hey, Marquez should be on the show. He's the most entertaining of all of them. That was me. If y'all want to drag me, you can drag me, friend. Y'all know I'm not concerned. Y'all ain't gonna ruin my Friday, child. Anyway, but my whole thing is, like I said, you saw how Melody's life was dismantled on this platform. So don't now, because shit ain't working out your way, decide that, oh, Carlos King is trash and this is horrible and all of the things. You knew it was all of the things. And then this P.S. call me if you really care about my mental health. Baby, that's your employer. He fired you, which in my opinion was the right thing to do. He put the safety of his cast over you, and he should have. He put the safety of Trish over you. And I know a lot of y'all don't like Trish, child. A lot of y'all don't like Trish. But for me, as soon as I saw those text messages, it was a wrap. And in the interview, we're going to talk about the interview, he admitted to sending those. So as far as I'm concerned, all of the like that I have for you is out the door. And Lord knows I deal with mental health issues too. But that doesn't give you grounds to say some of the stuff that he said. And I crash out a lot. I'm a Scorpio. Shout out to my Scorpio girlies. We got to do better. Anyway, but that's just something that you work on. But never in my time would I have said something about somebody's deceased parents. Or the stuff that he said was so vile for me that a normal person that I felt like was good at the end of the day, a kind-hearted person at the end of the day, those things would never pop into their brain, let alone say to somebody, even in your maddest moments. But that's just for me, which, you know what I'm saying, different strokes for different folks. But as far as I'm concerned, the type of people that I like people who have issues, may do some crazy shit from time to time, but I feel like they're good people at heart. If I don't feel like you're a good person at heart, then I can't fuck with you. Now, if I feel like you're good at heart, you can be out here robbing, scamming, you know, not robbing, but y'all get what I'm saying. Anyway, so I think that for him to say, hey, Carlos King, if you care about my mental health, baby, you've watched the show. Carlos King didn't give a damn about Melody's mental health when he let Destiny say the things that she said, or when he let Martell pass around a tape that all the cast and him saw, allegedly, in my opinion. So the fact that you're trying to call all of this out now as if you're the victim and you didn't know, you definitely knew. You just got caught up saying some ignorant, crazy ass shit, talking about you will take the whole show out or some shit like that. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Exactly. So that's what he had to say on the Instagram or whatever. Let's talk about the interview. And if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, Marquez did an interview with Queen Sheba. So in this interview with Queen Sheba, first of all, I love the fact that she had a therapist there. That was better than what OWN could do. Exactly. Shout out to her. So in the interview, she basically started out by asking him like, hey, I thought everything was good since the last time I talked to you. You said you wasn't gonna crash out, and then you fucked around and crashed out. Hence the text messages that Trish leaked to two bloggers. She leaked them to, well, not leaked them. Trish gave them to Millie Chan and Diana Rose, and both of them posted about it. So that's when we found out that, hey, this dude is El Pollo Loco. You know what I'm saying? And I don't understand why, even in these comments, why are people giving Marquez so much grace? I know you don't like Trish, but me not liking Trish doesn't supersede a man saying the things that he said to her. I'm sorry, I'm not built like that. Not based off of the character that I don't like on this reality show. I don't like G.I. Jane. I feel like she's a liar, a manipulator. She and her coochie. I'm not going to talk about that lady coochie. But what I'm going to say is, I wouldn't be surprised if she had as many bodies as the Harry Hines girl. That's all I'm going to say. And we know her coochie might be friendly. Anyway, I don't know. But even though I don't like this girl, that's neither here nor there when it comes to what that man said to her. And it's clear that if he could say something like that, it's plausible for me to believe that they both were verbally abusive to each other during their relationship. And I hate the fact that the kids have always been around that, because even in this interview he talked about how they had a fight that was filmed. Child, remember there was a rumor that Ken and Marquez had a fight. So apparently the fight was filmed. I wonder if now that Carlos King fired him, are you still gonna show that fight? This not funny. Do y'all think that G.I. Jane and G.I. Joe broke Marquez down? That's fucked up. How y'all gonna jump that man on television? And then this is my whole thing. If Ken was fighting Marquez, if Ken was winning, Trish, why did you jump in it? And what type of mother jumps they child's father with the kids around? If Marquez got fired, low-key, all of them need to get fired, because he was the most interesting part of the storyline. But now he's trash and don't nobody want to, I don't want to see him on my TV. I feel bamboozled that I actually thought he was charming and interesting, because I was on the Zoom call. I was like, oh, he is cool. Marquez, I want to see him on the show. That was me. That was me a few videos ago, child. Exactly. And I've seen the error of my ways. And somebody in the comments, one of my best friends was like, friend, why would you like Marquez and he's a deadbeat? And I was thinking, like, damn, she right, because I would never date a deadbeat. Like, I don't like deadbeat men. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, am I just giving him a pass for entertainment value because I want to see him on the show? But then after those text messages, it was a total wrap for me. But I do feel like his messages were vile. Hers were equally vile, because she joined in on it and started talking about his dead father or whatever. So really, Marquez, Trish, and Ken, they all need to go, and they need to scrap that storyline. But we know that they're desperate on that show now that Mel is gone. So I'm assuming they're going to keep the whole Trish, Ken, and all of that other stuff, because they desperate for material now that Mel is gone. We know that the Scott's not going to open up about their life. It appears all we going to see is Tisha being a mommy, Marceau building Scott Manor, trying to duck and dodge from OSHA. We ain't even finna talk about the Scotts ducking and dodging OSHA, child. But back to this. Okay, so on the interview, He did take accountability for the text messages. He said him and Kim was trying to work on a good, having a good relationship, yada, yada, yada. But then he went over to the house. Trish was filming with her homegirl, and apparently they was talking shit about Marquez. So he said that Trish goes off and start acting ignorant. So Trish is going off, and he said his son has to come in and save him and convince him to leave. First of all, sir, you are a grown man who been dealing with Trish for over 20 years. Why would your teenage son need to convince you to leave? You don't have the maturity to walk away and leave, or you just wanted to stay there so you can get some camera time? Because just like Kim wants to be famous, I believe Marquez wants to be famous too. So, baby, once again, y'all got these kids wrapped up in y'all bullshit. And you doing it all for the cameras. So don't come crying, going off on Carlos because he's exploiting your family, because you are a participant. You're a willing participant in the bullshit. We been knew Carlos like that. We been knew that Carlos is going to put his own personal needs and views above protecting anybody's family. We know that from the Holtz. We already know that. You know that as well, and you was ready for the bullshit. Anyway, girl. So then he said he left, but production called him back to come to the house, and that's when Kim was there and they had the fight. The fight was, on camera, da 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 da. So this is my whole thing. Was Carlos King still cool after they had the fight because it was filmed, but then got mad and fired you because of the text, or because he had an interview with Queen Sheba? Because he said, hey, I got fired due to my interview that I had with you, and I guess he told too much information. But he didn't really tell anything outside of what we seen from the show, in my opinion. But I can believe it because remember, Sonny told us that, she was getting calls too. So it sounds about right. I'm not sure if it was particularly because she had an interview with Queen Sheba or because he went on an interview spree. Because remember, he did an interview with Millichan, Bro Chat, Queen Sheba. It was a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, child. I don't know. The therapist came in. They were talking about it. They were talking about him trying to work through his anger. Yada, yada, yada. He said he starts crying, child. He starts crying. And he said he crying because he know what he really want to do. And he has bottled up anger. I know a lot of people like that who start crying, because they really want to fuck your ass up. They can't. That ain't funny. But yeah, as a person who deals with anger issues, I have a really bad temper myself. You just have to learn how to work through that. So all in all, I do hope that Marquez gets help and speaks with a therapist. He may need a psychiatrist. And actually get medicine, because I think that some stuff, I don't know. Anyway, I hope he gets the help he needs, because it's apparent that this man has mental health issues, and I don't think he has the mental capacity to deal with this situation, let alone deal with this situation on national TV, because that's just gonna exasperate all of his emotions, action, everything. It's just gonna worsen the situation. I still don't feel like I still was a little disappointed at so many women that were still coddling him and talking about how bad of a person Trish is. After we saw the evidence, we saw the text messages, it was amazing to me. That's just like in real life, in real life. When some situations happen, the woman is the victim, and we have the proof that the woman is the victim in the situation. And it's a certain group of women that will always find a way to blame the woman. Like, oh, he need to get his life together, but that girl and that girl trigger him, and that girl, baby. At some point, we need to place this blame on the man. And I feel like that's a lot of the reason why a lot of these men this generation, they have a huge lack of accountability, and they always push everything off on the women because they were raised by certain women who coddled them, kind of the same way everybody is doing Marquez. Of course he needs help. Of course he needs to get his mental health together. But that's something that he still needs to handle. That still doesn't negate the fact that he was dead wrong for threatening that girl like that, and threatening to do it on the show. So whatever violent spree he may have went on when he decided to crash out and show her, he could have hurt innocent people in the process. Innocent cast members, innocent members of the production team. You don't know how it could have been tragic. So I'm happy to hear he was fired. I think they need to fire Trish and Ken. And I don't know. I can't believe that OWN hasn't said nothing to Carlos King. I can't believe that OWN is continuing to let Love and Marriage Huntsville as a show go on with everything that surrounds it. Like after the revenge P, the DUI, the class action lawsuit against Maurice. It's just like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Tell me if y'all gonna watch Love and Marriage Huntsville next season. It seems as if Carlos King is betting a lot on this Marquez, Ken, and Trish situation. He already got a fight, you know what I'm saying, on film. We know the Scots ain't gonna give nothing but OSHA violations and lack of steel. We don't know what Kimmy and Baldhead Maurice gonna give. Anyway, hopefully dandruff slash split ends. So hopefully we don't see this bitch, but I guess. Anyway, so tell me what y'all thought about this whole Marquez debacle, the interview, Carlos King getting called out once again. I just don't. And I wonder, is he going to speak on it? I wonder, is he going to come out and say something? That's one thing I really don't care for about Carlos, is that he don't address things head on. He just kind of, I don't know, child. Anyway, friends, so that's all I got. Later on, we're going to talk about family business, married to medicine, those looks. Okay, so we're going to talk about the married to medicine looks. I posted a short. Go check out my short on Married to Medicine. Tell me how y'all feel, and then maybe we should do a live, or we'll just, comment on who y'all think the best and the worst looks are, because mine changed. My best look, it changed after I seen the video. Exactly. Anyway, friends, so make sure you comment, like, make sure you subscribe. I'll talk to you later.